Hyundai's next generation of electric cars is right around the corner. No, I'm not talking about the eGMP platform that underpins the Ioniq 5, Kia EV6, and the Genesis GV60. No, I'm talking about their smaller B and C segment vehicles. They're getting all new drive units, and they're not coming out of Korea. We're over at VitescoTechnologies.com. Vitesco Technologies receives major order for latest electric axle drive. If you're new to the channel, my name's Kirk. I cover Japanese and Korean cars. Make sure you're subscribed not only for my reviews, but breaking news like this. Cannot wait to share this information. It's pretty exciting. We already know what their large rear-wheel drive based EV platform is capable of with the EV6, Ioniq 5, and GV60. But what we have here is going to be essentially the next generation, let's say, the Kona EV. For certain parts of the world, the Soul EV, even though I don't think we might not ever see the Soul EV here in America again. And I know the Soul's a Kia product, but this is essentially for Kia as well. Vitesco Technologies will deliver its EMR4 axle drive to Hyundai Motor Group's global B and C segment vehicles. I already talked about these are the smaller vehicles, not the larger eGMP based platform vehicles. More than likely, these are just going to slot into the existing architectures that are already there. And these drive units are very small, as we'll see here in a little bit. In total, the order has a volume of 2 billion euros in magnitude. I'll put what that is in US dollars. The EMR4 is a highly integrated 3-in-1 drive platform consisting of an electric machine, power, electronics, and a gearbox. This 3-in-1 setup is definitely not new, but the packaging and the efficiency of them continues to improve with each generation. If we look at Blue Nexus, which supplies Lexus and Toyota, they have more generations coming out that are far more efficient space-wise than what we see in the BZ4X and the RZ450 Subaru Solterra. So that's just Gen 1. And there's actually news coming out right now talking about Aishin and Blue Nexus and their new setups, but that'll be a different video. EMR4 is a 4th generation axle drive developed by Vitesco Technologies. The highly integrated drive unit is 400 volts, 160 kilowatt 3-in-1 unit will be used by the vehicle manufacturer Hyundai. They are employing silicon carbide semiconductors in the inverter of the drive platform, and this has allowed this 4th generation to become more efficient and powerful than the previous generations. Now, there's nothing in this press release talking about when this vehicle or when we will see these vehicles coming out, but in the text underneath the images here, it says we will start seeing these starting from 2024. So we're a couple years away to see this next generation ultra efficient electric vehicle powertrain in Kia and Hyundai and probably even Genesis products. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, looking up the new setup versus the old setup, the EMR4 is capable starting at a lower number and also of a much higher power output. Now, 80 kilowatts, I believe, translates to around 107 horsepower. That's what we see in the all-wheel drive motors of the BZ4X and Subaru Solterra. Now, 230 kilowatts is an interesting number because that equates to about 308 horsepower, and that is what is in the combination of motors in the Lexus RZ450E. Hello, this is Kirk. Hey, how's it going? Excellent. Okay, 11 and 1 o'clock. Perfect. All right, we'll see you guys then. Okay, thank you. Bye. So that's exciting. I'm going to be getting Infiniti vehicles for review, QX55. You heard it here during this video. That vehicle's arriving at my doorstep today. Anyways, as much as Infiniti needs electrification, we need to go back to Hyundai and Kia's new drivetrain units. So that means this tiny motor, if you put 2 of them in the vehicle, they're capable of over 600 horsepower. That is absolutely mind-blowing in terms of power density. This kind of reminds me of Yamaha's power density, which Yamaha claims to have the world's best, which they might, but we still haven't seen it in any production vehicle. We know that the Subaru electric world record attempt vehicle, but that vehicle, who knows if it'll even make it to production. And also another thing about this is that notice how small this differential is here. So that means longer drive shafts. That should also mean for a very well handling vehicle. The fatter and wider that rear differential is, the less suspension travel you're going to have and the harsher ride you're going to have as well. So it's nice to have that narrow for a better ride quality. And here is a close-up of this motor, which is just a high resolution image of what we see here essentially. As we're looking at Kia vehicles here, what kind of vehicles? I mean, these are B and C platform vehicles. We really don't see much of like we don't see this B platform Picanto, right? Are we going to see an electric Rio? No. I think what they're going to do, this is just going to be the next generation Soul drive units, as well as maybe the Seltos if they want to electrify that. Possibly the Niro. I think this would be a great candidate for the Niro on the Kia end. For the full EV version as well would make a ton of sense. It wouldn't work on the plug-in hybrid, but it would work for the Niro EV and Soul EV. So I think those are probably the highest candidates here, is the Soul and Niro from Kia. And if we go to Hyundai, I don't expect the Venue, as it's such a budget car, to get it, but we know the Kona EV has been out for a long time now, so I think that is a huge candidate here, as that is more of the C platform sized EV that they're looking at. The Tucson size and above is all going to be on the eGMP platform with the, like, let's say the Ioniq 7, Ioniq 5, Ioniq 6. Ioniq 6 will be coming out later this year. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because I will give you guys hands-on coverage of that car. Can't wait. Anyways, but with power outputs of 600 horsepower or so from 2 of these motors, that means we could be seeing some end products come out of these tiny, energy dense, built in Germany electric vehicle drive units. But we got to keep moving, because bringing news back to states here, coming from Germany to the United States, still talking about Korean manufacturers here. Hyundai plans US EV plant in Georgia, and this would be near existing plants for Hyundai and Kia brands already. Hyundai told Reuters, "We're excited to announce a new EV plant in the United States soon, but we do not have details to share at this stage." But according to Reuters contacts, Hyundai has been in advanced discussions with state officials to build a dedicated EV facility in Georgia. And of course, stay tuned for official details, which should be happening very soon in terms of cost, of jobs, where it will be, how many battery electric vehicles they would be able to produce as well. Now, they're saying that this will be likely the place where they'll build the 3-row fully battery electric vehicles, Ioniq 7, EV9. And that could be, those vehicles though are coming out fairly soon, and this plant wouldn't be done in time, I wouldn't expect, by the launch of the EV9. The EV9 especially is supposed to be the end of next year, so the end of 2023, and probably the Ioniq 7 should be at that same time as well. Now, we haven't heard anything about Kia's next vehicle other than the EV9. The Ioniq 6, though, the sedan based off the Prophecy concept, will be coming out late this year. So, interestingly, Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported the company could hire 8,500 people as part of its plans to build a new factory. The newspaper said the plant could be located on a more than 2,200-acre site that the state had previously proposed to Rivian, Volvo, and Jaguar. And just to remind you, Hyundai announced $300 million investment last month to manufacture the all-electric Genesis GV70 and a hybrid version of the Santa Fe at its Alabama plant. And the Genesis GV70 would be the first Hyundai EV made in the United States. Kia is hoping to have 14 EVs on the market by 2027, and Hyundai has said it will roll out 17 EVs by 2030, including 6 for its luxury Genesis brand. And how convenient for them to look in Georgia. Already they have plants there, but the most important thing when it comes to battery electric vehicles is the battery. And what else is built in Georgia? Well, there's already one of their suppliers, battery factories are up, which is SK Innovations, and they're building another plant in Georgia as well. So they have 2 massive battery supplies coming from Georgia, so it makes sense to put that new battery electric vehicle plant in Georgia. And the battery makers are pouring into the United States from Asia. We just talked about SK Innovation. We know CATL is testing out the waters to see where they want to put a plant. That's the world's largest battery manufacturer from China. You also have Samsung batteries coming in, looking for more places to build their battery production. And then you also have LG Chem, which is of course teaming up with not only Honda, but of course General Motors for the Ultium platform. And segueing to our last topic today, Hyundai to end projects with Rimac battery electric vehicle supercar maker. And apparently it's because Rimac is getting closer to Porsche, and that is not sitting well with the Koreans. In 2019, Hyundai and Kia invested $84 million into Rimac and took 12% stake in the company. And even though Kia and Hyundai have big projects going on with Rimac in the background, last year Porsche increased its stake in Rimac to 24% from 10%. So it's just like a bidding war between these large companies. And at that same time, Rimac formed a $55 to 45% joint venture with Porsche to take over Volkswagen Group's Bugatti hypercar brand. Holy crap, I didn't know that was going on. And Hyundai will finish the electric sports car project started in collaboration with Rimac in-house. The vehicle's expected launch date is early 2023. To me, I mean, with all the spy shots coming out of the Ioniq 5N, the full-blown track version of that car, to me, that makes sense. That's the vehicle coming out in early 2023. But it's funny that it started with Rimac and then the Hyundai's like, no, you're too much Porsche at this point in time. Speaking of Germans, Hyundai is buying all their drive units, $2 billion plus worth of them, from a German manufacturer to put in their B and C compact vehicles. It looks like they're scrapping all fuel cell projects that they had with Rimac as well. But time to end it there. I'm really excited to see Hyundai and Kia build a battery electric vehicle plant here in the States in Georgia. They got to do it. Batteries are very heavy and expensive to ship across the world. So that's why they need the batteries produced here stateside and those vehicles for those batteries to slot into built here stateside. And what better way to put them right next to each other all in Georgia. And with the current infrastructure, smaller, low range, affordable EVs makes the most sense for the average consumer right now. We just have very few of those small, affordable EV products on the market for us here in the United States. I would love to have something around 100 to 200 miles, looks something like the Kia Soul, and has around 200 horse. I think that would be an awesome vehicle to be around 25,000 US dollars. Unfortunately, we just don't have anything like that. But these new drive units coming from Vitesco inside of Germany should, in theory, help reduce the cost and make these small compact battery electric vehicles more available, more affordable for us here in the United States. I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more Korean auto news, Japanese auto news as well. Hit the like button if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day and peace out.